That I'm gonna put my camera on so they can see me. Make up some fun together, you know. All right, come on in, step by step, file on in. We need to have the little door chime. You know, like when you go to a froyo place, and it's always like that ding or whatever. When you go to like like repair shops, that's what we need. We need something like that as people come in. All right, guys. Welcome everybody. This is Lunch and Learn. I will be hosting it. I got Robert with me as well, and also Jeremy. But I'm gonna take a lead and host this one. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to demonstrate it if I can. And there's no pre-sub, so I'll rely on you for that. But before I begin, as you can see on the screen here, we got a couple of QR codes. One's to the Decision Support YouTube channel. Me and the training team, really, I should just say Robert and his amazing work. He uploads videos every Friday. We go to like around 2 to 3 videos a week. We upload new content over like archiving entities, over handling comments, over doing a lot of different things in the Decisions tool. So go ahead, scan the QR code, and you can get access to that content. Also, the bottom QR code, we also have access to the Decision Solutions Marketplace. So different apps and new things that our solution teams creates. Go ahead and view that, and you'll get to see all of the different apps that come in. So yeah, that will be the stuff that we have there. So awesome. Just wanted to shout out those two aspects and those two people and their hard work. All right. Let's begin with some questions. I saw Radley's hand up and I got Brian Kim's question in the chat. So we're going to allow Radley to talk and then I will answer Brian's question. Go ahead, Radley. How can I help you?
Hey there. So I'm trying to create a multi-series line chart where I have months
Ooh.
going across the bottom, and then
Mm-hmm.
each line in the chart is a year with just some number going up the side. Just
Ooh.
struggling with how to configure the groupings, how to set up the data so the chart pulls it how I want.
Nice. So trying to do line charts. I've actually never done a line chart, so this will be fun. Let's see. So let's go. Let's create some stuff here. And we'll just select all, and this will be like create line chart. Create line here. That made no sense. Create line chart test for fun. Generate those project folders. After you generate those project folders, let's go ahead and I'm going to see if I can build this straight out. I think I can. I'm like a little engine I could. I think I can. I think I can. Line chart tests. Because I'm hoping, I think I have a lot of accounts in my system, and so I'm hoping I can group that by year like you did, and maybe that would do it. So account data source, I'm gonna do created on date, and we get, oh, I don't have that many. Oh, I can create some blank ones real quick. And then created by. All right, so I got that on another screen right here. I'm just gonna create some extra accounts. And let me see if I can find a document. Actually, yeah, Robert or Jeremy or Will Clemens, if you're in the chat, could you like just search for a document for me on the decisions documentation website for line charts?
On it. Yep.
That'd be great because I just got to create a couple of extra accounts. So this is going to be test account one at, let's see, one at email.com. This is going to be test 1, 2, 3, whatever. Actually, that doesn't work. All right, I'm gonna make it a super secret password so you guys won't know what it is. All right. Let's see. Okay. Boom. All right, I got that. I got that. And I can just create the account. I don't care what. Say test. I don't care what group that's in. Act 2 at email.com. Super secret password. No one's gonna know this. Put this in here, and then email is not valid. It is. Come on. Want me to create? Yeah, just the validation was weird. All right, cool. So I got that stuff. Now I'm going to go into a, what do we call it? Let's see. I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, right. Create line chart. Awesome. So back here. Oh, actually, I already have it here. Alrighty. Got a couple of the chat. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Alrighty. So let's create a line chart. Let's see. I think I can do this. So we got a, I want to group it. I want to split this by year. So let's say if I format this thing by year. So I should have, they're all 2024. You gotta be kidding me. It's the same month. Let's do it by day. I'm gonna see if I can split this by day or something. Hold on, let me move this here. Get that out of my way. So if I can do data drill down, nope, charts. I just got to figure out a grouping. Well, let's group it by this. So we got a couple of different sparse data. And then let's add a chart, and then we're going to do line chart. And let's say created on date. And let's say this is test line stuff. And let's see what it looks like. Test line stuff. And okay, so we got that. So that does it. Your question specifically on how to do multi-series is they're trying to do add like 2022, 2024, things like that.
Right. And then across the bottom, well, the years would be the lines, but then across the
Mm-hmm.
bottom is the months, right? So I want to see, in 2022 there were 5 things, in 2024 there were 8 things
Mm-hmm.
for January, right? And then for February it'd be different numbers for the years, right? So I'm expecting the lines to, flow up and down as it
Mm-hmm.
progresses through the year.
Sure. Let's see. How do we add? I think isn't that another one? Let me see. I wonder if that's a multi-series chart. Let me look at other ones. Lines, bubbles. No, so it would be this, but I wonder, there's got to be another way. Let's see, test. Let's see. I wonder if there's just something in the chart setting. So I got series one. So there's got to be a way to add. There's got to be a way to add another series. I'm pretty sure. All right. Oop, wrong channel. Another series to a line chart. I wonder, let me go back to data. I want to go to the results. I wonder if I can add.
Jared, I believe to add more series, you need either additional things being grouped or you need to add
Oh,
subtotals.
that's what I was about to do. Okay. So if I had a subtotal, let's say I get the, I don't know, what's the count I'm trying to think of what, I just don't have good data to do this. I probably have to like create some data and then let's go back to the line chart. Do I have to add the series? Does it add it? No, it just does that. Created on date. Oh, there we go. Add series. Boom. Okay, cool. There you go. So there you go. So that's how you can add different series and states. So the more you add in the results. So that will, so basically here's what it is, Radley. So whatever you group by, that's going to be the bottom part. So if you want the bottom part to be month or year, you group it by that, right? Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, so you group by that, and that gives you the bottom parts. And then to get multiple series, and you can actually add different colors to this. So let's make this red so it actually makes a big difference. Boom. And then to add the different series, you either need to, I think you have to go to data, and then you go to the results category, and then you can add different subtotals. So if there's different averages or different things for your report, that's where you calculate them, and then you can add multiple series to that line chart and display multiple items at the same time.
So I'm going to group on months and subtotal on years. Am I understanding you right? Okay.
Exactly. I would give that a shot. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like it would work for me. So
Awesome. I do have more questions, but I'll get back in line.
yeah, I was gonna say
Great.
I'll circle back to you.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
The next person waiting is Brian. Brian asked, how can we send a page variable to the URL by clicking on something from a report? I'm going to give you the ability to talk, Brian. If I can just go back to my participants. All right, Brian, what you got?
Okay, so I actually asked this question, I think, on a previous Lunch and Learn, but I kind of forgot to do it. We have a page that has a report and a PDF viewer, and we're reading our PDFs from like our shared drive. And I was wondering if there, like, I know that we were having someone click on like a row on a report, and then that like updated the page URL, and then our PDF viewer is reading that page URL and looking for that primary ID, and then we're finding it in like our shared drive folder. We changed out the report, and I kind of forgot how to get that primary ID on that URL again.
Primary ID on that so you're just trying to so document display the view, like you're trying to put it to the document viewer, or is it?
Yeah.
I mean, so the not the simple, but the overarching strategy is if I go into my flows, you create a flow, you either need so this is if you want to set, configure something in the URL, like I want,
Yeah.
email variable to be jared@decisions.com, there is the set page variable step or set page variable step. So you can define
Mhm.
like, hey, this is email, right? And then what do you want to be housed in this variable? And obviously before here, there would be something here like, hey, user clicks on a button and then boom, and pushes that value there.
Mhm.
So that's a way you can do it via automation. That's one way. The other way, which is probably more relevant to you, is whenever, let's say, the email address that I want to filter by. A report also does this. If I click on one of these data fields, and if I scroll all the way down and do send data as filter change source, and I say this is like EID, oops, that's not how you spell it, EID. And then what that does, if I put this report on a page, you'll see that now you'll see the email ID up in the URL. So let's see if I can configure that real quick so you can see that. And this is page test again. And then we're just gonna add this report viewer here because that's all I need. Line chart tests. Bum, bum. And then what we do here is go ahead and we'll add this to our dashboard right here. Add page/dashboard, page test again, save, and then I will go to dashboard. And then you can see up here once I click on something, you'll see that the EID, let me put my cool
Oh,
annotation
okay.
tool, is up on the top here, right? And then whenever I fetch that, if I switch the where's my annotation? I don't want to annotate anymore. There we go. And now if I click on that, you'll see that now that URL changes every time I click on a row.
Yeah.
And then you can have other controls just say, hey, get the value out of EID or whatever you choose to name it. So
Okay, got it. Thank you.
yeah, my pleasure, man. Alrighty. That was that one. All right. I think the next person, it was in the chat. Leah Turner. All right, Leah. Let's see. I'm going to allow you to talk, but I'll read your question out loud. Let's see. I think my pre-sub question didn't come through. Here it is. Wanting to see if you could show an example of replacing an item in a list. Here's an older example that I found in the forums, but it doesn't have the project attached. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Let's read it together. Unknown. Changing a specific item in the list. Hey, I have a list that I'm trying to change an object in without changing the whole list. Is there a simple way to achieve? Ooh, this direct. Oh, hey. Hey, Will's the one who proposed this. Get item by index. So let's see, input mapping is going to be. Yeah. Okay, so I think I understand what you're going on. Would you like to elaborate any further, Leah? You just want to see
No,
like
not
an
really.
example?
Just wanted to see kind of this example.
Oh, okay, so
Want to do sort of the same thing, replace a value in a list later on in the flow.
I see. Okay. Value in a list. That was going to be set to change value to point to the list item. Let's see. He uses. Let's read it. All right. I'm gonna put this on another screen and let's kind of slowly build this out together. And if it takes too long, I'll build it offline. I'll send you an email with that project. But I think I could do this real quick. All right. There's not a data type. Yep. For example, data types. And you're using a composite type, correct? This is not just like a list of strings or a list of integers, right? You're like, I have an account object and I want to, change that one property or whatever, right?
I built a just simple flow structure. So I don't know if that would work or not with this
Gotcha.
example.
It will work. I'm going to show you with a simple type because the concept will still be the same. So like just strings or a number. So if I have, let me remove this guy. If I have, let's say, a list of things, right? I'm just gonna input data, create this, and this is gonna be list numbers is what I'll call this. We'll make this a list and we'll go through integers. I'm gonna set this as a constant, so I'll always have these, and this is gonna be like 45. Actually, let me create no, I'm gonna make it more relevant to you. Let me create a simple flow structure. Project alpha, go to data types. We're gonna go to flow structure, and it's a flow structure, not a flow execution extension, right?
Right.
Got it. Okay, cool. This is gonna be fun FS, and it's gonna be fun 1, and we'll have fun 2, right? So because we like to have fun. We're gonna save this. So let's say I want to change let's say I create a list of these things, right? So I go to alpha flow 2, and we will define this, and this will be our fun FS. And let's say we got a list of that, right? So now what we can do, we can say this is the fun list. And then I save this, or then I do a constant, and now I can add, fun 1, 2, let's say this is just Jared, Jeremy. That's one fun, and then the other fun is going to be Robert and Greg. And then we'll add one more fun, and we'll say, hey, the other fun is going to be Brian and Sabrina. I think I spelled Brian's name wrong because I think he spells it weird with a Y and not with an I, but we get it. Anyway, so we got that one. And so now let's say I want to change, because I know I made a mistake with Brian's name. Let's say I want to correct it. I want it to be with a Y. So what I can do is you would have to, there'd be some type of logic, I think, that says get item by index. Yep, perfect. So in a larger list, there is this get item by index step. So what we can do is we can get the item by the index. In this case, the list type is going to be whatever your flow structure is. In my case, it's the fun FS. So I'm gonna grab the fun FS, and then we'll output that list item, right? And then I'm gonna pass in the initial list where it all comes from, my fun list, and then I could pick a position in that list where I want to get that item. Let's see. I'm reading this forum post. This is not a. Let's do it. Using simple two-step. We define original list on the index. All right. Since I know that the Brian one is in the third position, which in this case is number 2, because list positions start at 0 and then incrementally go up. So I'm going to just grab that data, right? So did I not define it? Don't tell me I didn't define it. Wait. I think I should be able to debug this. Okay, good. Phew. I was like, boom. All right, cool. So because I defined it, I'm going to debug it again and then slowly talk about this. All right, so what this step does, it says, hey, let's get the item in a specific position. Now, since I said position 2, this one's 0, this one's 1, this one's 2. And so you can see on the output, oh, I only did the input data. Silly me. So you can see on the output data, so this tells you the inputs, and you can click these kind of arrows to collapse it. So you can easily, just look at the outputs. And now I can see, hey, it grabbed, Brian and Sabrina. Now I know Brian spells it with a Y, like I said, so I need to change that to update that, because that's, not going to be, valid, accurate. So what I'm going to do is you can utilize some create data step, and you can define the fix of what you want. This could be dynamic and all that stuff. It just depends on the use case that you need. And let's say I'm going to change this to with a Y, Brian, or no, that's the variable name. So this is updated value. And then the value is going to be Brian, right? I can save this. And then what I can do is as soon as I get that output, so let me debug this one more time, because I need to know what property houses the value that I want to change. So in fun 1, Brian is misspelled. So what I want to do is I want to change that, right? And so what I'm going to do is on the create data step, there's 2 ways to change data. One's the input side, which is what's going into the step. And then you can affect the step on the output. So when this thing executes, you can have it loop back and reference, or it doesn't really loop back, but it says, hey, I see this variable exists in the flow. Let me update its value. Or what you can do is you can say, hey, just continue on, output that data, and then it'll just display it in another variable. In this case, because we want to update something, we're going to go ahead and click on the output mapping. I like the output mapping because I just like doing the little lines, because I'm an old decisions person that has been here for a while, and so I like the old way. But anyway, now what I can do is I can drill down into that list item, which is the output that comes out of the get item by index step. And then I just drag my line over to fun 1, and then now it sets it to change value. So whatever value is in this variable called update value, it will update the value in fun 1. And so then what I can do, just to show you that it worked, is I'm actually going to add a show pop-up step. If I can spell it. And then we can say subject, and this is going to prove it updated, right? And so then what I'm going to do is I will select from flow, and we'll do list item string fun one, and we should see that now this should say Brian with a Y instead of Brian with an I. Let's see if it works or if there's something I misconfigured. Typically when I do this, there's always like one thing I've missed and it's misconfigured. So hopefully there won't be a swing and a miss. All right, so now I got it. Hey, looks like it worked the first time. So as you can see here, it successfully grabbed the value of the third property, which is fun one, fun two, which is Brian and Sabrina. And as you can see, it's already changed it in that list because it's fixed it with a Y instead of an I. And then as I passed it out here, we go input, output, right? It updated that value. And then over here, prove it updated, it is with a Y now. So that's kind of the general overarching theme on how you'd update it. Other things would affect it, like how scalable do you need this? Is this a one-off thing, or like what would be the, the use case of it? But that's essentially what that forum post is talking about for your updates and your changes.
Yeah,
Does that
thank
answer
you.
your question? Okay,
It does, thanks.
awesome. Cool. All righty. Let's see, we got that part. All right, so that's series charts. That's pretty cool. All right, any other questions? Let's see, we got a lot of people. Feel free to raise your hand, and I'll be more than happy to answer any question you may have. So we got Debbie, Elon, Marla, Renew, Smitha, VT. If you guys have any questions, feel free.
There's one in Q&A.
Oh, there's one in the Q&A. Oh, I'm not reading it. Whoops. Haha, my bad. Thank you. Elon, hello. I have a dashboard on a page that contains two simple tiles and a report. The simple tiles are just displaying the total count of a value. I'm trying to create a custom filter using a flow run part for, ooh, this is a fun one, for the page that can filter these simple tiles based on the date range a user enters. How can I do this? I'm going to give you permission to talk. Oop, wrong person. Let's see, remove permission to talk. I'll give you permission to talk, Elon, but I think I know what you're asking. But if I'm ever going off, off target, just let me know. But I think how we do this. Let's see, don't save. And I'll do another folder scaffold for this. This is going to be, I think it's like what? Flow run part filter on tiles as well. Boom. If you're ever wondering why I have really long project names, one of my former supervisors that I used to work for in decisions, he would always create the funniest and longest goofy names. So that's why I just keep on the tradition and do that. Let's see, reports. I'm gonna go back and create another report. And this is gonna be over documents because I think that's gonna be more relevant to this use case. Yep. So report over documents. And I'm gonna do document one. Document data source. I'm gonna grab the entity name and type. There's a way. I want to know type. Document type. Does it give me? Perfect. And I wonder, let's see, I want to group it by this. How many? We got CSS. Oh, cool. This is perfect. Haha. All right. This is awesome. All right. So I'm going to close this. And then what we're going to do, all right, I'm going to read it again. I have a dashboard on a page, two simple tiles. And the simple tiles are displaying total count value. I want to create custom filter flow run part. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do is my simple tiles are going to be a little different from yours, but it's going to be the same. Let's see, display count based on selection. So I'm going to have two, I think I might need a document. Robert or Jeremy, if you could find a simple tile document for me, I will need to read that. Thank you. Pick this, pick existing, report over documents. We got this. You have a custom filter. And now, Elon, your custom filter, that's like it's a flow run part. It's not just a default one, right?
Yeah, no, I created it from a form, so it has a from date to date and then filter button.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, so let me go for, actually, flow run part. I'm gonna use what you use, flow run part. And I'll pick and create the flow. We're gonna create a new thing, and this is gonna be run filter form. All right, and so we run the filter form. And I believe, let me send, I did I think I need to send this as a filter change source. I think I forgot that. Where is it? Filter change source right there. I'll do this is we'll do type for ID or type ID. That's what we'll do. We'll call it that. So then I'll save this. All right, cool. We got that. I'll make this all lowercase because it's got to be type ID. And then we'll save this. Awesome. So now I got, and then I'm going to go to show form. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a form. This is going to be a small form. And it's going to be my DDL, DD drop down list, form filter, drop down list. And we'll say this contains the two things. It's going to be a string static, and it's going to be CSS and DLL. And do we need a button? I don't know. We'll add a button. I'm not sure if you need a button for this, but. And then, all right, so we got that. And then I think I need to output the data to type ID. I think that's what you got to do. It's been such a long time since I used flow run part. If not, we'll read the document together. So I got that. We're going to select from flow. That's going to be what? It was just there. Oh, did I do something? Let's select it. Type ID. We'll just do that. Type ID. And then we'll close this. And now I should have type ID, outputs. And then we'll select from flow. There you go, type ID. Weird. Probably just needed a refresh, or my instance is a little old. All right, cool. We got that. Now I'm going to add the simple tiles. So simple tile. I'm just going to do one for right now. And so what I'm going to say is, okay, I'm thinking. Yes, we got to do it this way. So I create tile source, and this is going to be my tile for extension filter. And then what we'll do is let's see, we're going to say this is extension count for here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fetch entities over here. Fetch results, no results. And this is going to be document data type, because that's what I'm using for demonstration. And then I grab the document file, document type. And then, oh yeah, that's right. And then I have to use the get page variable step to grab the page variable. Get page variable step. And then what that's going to be is the type ID, right? And it's going to be a string in my case. And then we'll go through here. And then select from flow. We'll grab the page data, and then that will filter this thing depending, not by a constant. And then, does end work? Oh man. I was hoping the end short key would work and take me to the bottom, but it didn't. All right, cool. So now I think we can test this out and see if it works. So what should happen is, okay. There's going to be a bug on here too, so it's not going to work. It's kind of like what is it? I'm just spitballing. It's not all going to be gold. Let's see, display count selection. All right, cool. And now we go to display count selection. So now if I do the CSS and let's say I run this. All right, so it didn't display the count and it didn't change the filter. I think I know why. I need to set. I'm going to go back. Dashboard here, and then I'm going to change this filter flow run part, and we're going to go to the page here, because I think there's a couple things I need to configure. I need to say behavior view. Let's see, here we go. Let's see, settings. Update on contain. Let's just refresh. There was something here. Before I drill down. Page folder. Allow collapsing. I know it's here. So this behavior. All right, I think it's a refresh thing. Portal actions, then I want circle to grid. On any folder change. Not really any folder change. I want to do contained entity. That's what I want to do. And then get parameters from page. All right, cool. And then view. And then here, what I want is the behavior. Refresh on contained entity. There we go. Update on selection bus change. And this is going to be type ID for here. And then, oh, I think I know what it is. I think I know what I forgot. First off, let's just test this out. I think right now it will work only for the other one. So if I got nothing and then I do CSS, refresh, darn it. So CSS. So I know it wouldn't filter that. All right, let me use the handy dandy global debugger. No. And then what I'll do, this is a good point for anyone. Whenever you're troubleshooting these things, global debugger is super helpful on determining, why it runs, what runs and what doesn't. So page data, okay, so it got that. It found out that it was CSS. All right, and then I select from flow, and then it's just CSS. Okay, so that is working. And when I run the filter form, okay, then it's run on that. Okay, I see. So let me change it to DLL and let's run this to see if it updates it. It doesn't. Okay. Because now I think it's just showing nope, it shows the DLL as well. This one's not filtered for here. So if I run this, let me global debugger one more time. I want to turn this on, go back here, select DLL, and then I run this. Now it runs that tile form. Let's see what happens. Oh, did it not grab it? No. It didn't grab it. All right, let's see. I'm going to add another layer to this. Let me always make sure you turn off the global debugger too whenever you run your tests. Display page data, we got this part. And then I think the input is type ID as well. And it should grab it from that, I think. So I'm going to save this one more time. We're going to go back here, refresh, and then we DLL. Oh, wait, on DLL. And then let's turn this on and see what happens. So it just runs it, but I didn't see the other part of it. So let's do this. I have another hunch for this. Let me go back and I'll try it for give me 5 more minutes troubleshooting this. And if not, I'll just take that offline, Elon, and I'll send you a project so I can go on to the next questions because I don't want to belabor it too much. Simple tiles. Thanks, Robert. I need to read. Let's see. All right. Simple tiles versus simple tile. We got that part. Ticket status dashboard. Yeah, settings simple tiles. Okay. Enables users to use custom date ranges. Okay, yeah, I know. Pick or create flow. An update on selection button. Yeah, that's what I'm using. For your dates, you would use this. Okay, I got that part. So I think the problem is with my flow run part. That's what I think. Because I think what I want to do is I actually want to select from flow. Okay, I did do that. And then I want to set page variable. Let's see. Because we could say get page value. Yeah, we're actually going to do type ID. And then we're going to select from flow and set it to whatever the selected is here. So I don't think that's helping at all with the output of that. So I'm going to close this. and remove that. So I don't think that's helping. So that's going to set that data there. So I'm hoping that whatever I click, so when I click on the done path, it should display that information there on a page. So if I select this, go back here, and then I say I want this, and I run this, boom, haha, CSS. Cool. Alrighty. So we got that working. All right, cool. So the things that are needed on this flow run part. So you will utilize something of the following here. So I could talk about it is when you have your flow run part, you're gonna have your input variable that takes in that data, and then you'll need to have a step or some other thing that then changes that tile count. In my process for my tile source flow, this is probably more germane to your question, is if you're doing filters, check these, respect date range filter. And then when you edit this, since I'm using a different filter field, that's why I'm utilizing the get page variable step. But when you use the get respect date range, you'll get these 4 date filters that you can utilize. That says, hey, this is the end date. This is this is the from date. I think it's also known as the start date, that you can then utilize to filter the fetch entity step, and then make sure you have it refresh on contained entity change. So if someone interacts with it, it will then change the view for that user there. But that's essentially the process on that. So did that answer your question, Elon, or do you have a follow up to it?
Yeah, I think that worked. One quick question though, if I'm using an external entity, how would I put in the from and end date?
An external entity?
Right.
Like are you reporting over the external entity?
Yes.
So then that's in the report viewer. So when you open up the report viewer, whatever like field you want to filter by, make sure that you add, let's see, yeah, wait, it's still coming. So I think, you could still fetch an internal entity.
Right. You can fetch it, but it doesn't have
Yes.
the criteria.
For it.
Right.
Then this might be a recommendation. We may have to do a query integration with parameters on it, but you should have a fetch all. Wait. Let's see. Let me look. I'm gonna look up a document on external entities. Because I think what you would do is, since you don't, but I think you could fetch it once you do that. Hold on, let me double check. I'm thinking once you, at least I thought once you add it, creating external entities, that's what I need. Let's see. Okay, fetch all, fetch from the ID, fetch the save, search. So probably what you could do is you can create another, so you have the configuration folder for those external entities. What I would do is I would add another one here that would, instead of it just being like, test get fetch from ID, you can create one that says, hey, get fetch from the created date. And then you can get the data and then run that to filter by whatever the user selected. That would be what I would recommend just off the gate. But that may need more further, like we'd have to further test that. But that's how I would start. See if you can do that. And the other thing you could do, let me show you query integrations. Let's see, query documentation.decision.com. Because what you can do with the query is you can create like, hey, here's a parameter. Oh yeah, there we go. It read my mind. Go back, query. Yeah, add parameterized queries. I'm going to send this document to you in the chat because if the other way doesn't work, where you can't add a filter into like some type of flow, like I was referring to earlier, what you can do is we can add. Man, yeah, this document site is super slow. Come on. You can create a query, a parameterized query that can say, hey, this is the start date or the end date or whatever you've classified as the dates. And you can say, hey, fetch, here's the variable for the from date. And then you can just pass that through when you run your fetch, or you can drag over the step and it'll have those 2 inputs. And then you just pass that in through, and that will get you the, thing you need there.
Okay. I'll give that a try.
Sure. Hey, let's see. Parameterized queries. All right, cool. I'm going to send this one in the chat. Type the answer. I'll send you the document. I'll also send this to everyone if anyone else is interested. Alrighty.
Awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure. Alrighty. Any other questions? As I think I open. I think it was I already answered Brian's, so I think that was answered live. So I think we're good on there. So Renu, Smitha, VT, any other questions you may have? Good. Alrighty. All right, cool. If there's no more questions, this is it was a good lunch and learn. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the lunch and learn. So tomorrow I think I'll be hosting it again. So if you like seeing me on the call, feel free to join. If you don't, well, you'll still get more of me. So I'll be hosting tomorrow again, a couple of cool places to frequent. Let's see. Come on. Work with me. Slides. Lunch. Yeah, perfect. So yep, we still have the decision support channel. If there's even other like demonstrations that you want us to, create YouTube videos for, we will take recommendations. Just email training@decisions.com if you're like, hey, it'd be cool if we can, have a walkthrough YouTube video over some of the stuff we saw today. Feel free to email training@decisions.com for that. Also, make sure to take a look at our solutions marketplace and all the different apps that we have there. So. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your kind attention. I'll see you guys next time.